Adam here for another of Adam's reviews, and today I will be reviewing the Sendt guitar cables and effects connector pack plus kit. Let's see what we got in here. Alright, so we have a couple of connectors that hook up effects pedals and another bag full of connectors that are probably used for sends and returns, and we got a instrument cable. It's braided, got some cloth on there. We're going to go ahead and test these out a little bit further anyway, though, just to make sure that everything's on up and up. And this is the braided instrument cable sniff test. Smells weird. They're screw on. Nice metal piece there. It's not some cheesy plastic thing. Good strain relief from what I could tell. Solder joints are looking pretty good. Got a little insulator here to keep the jacket from hitting the actual mount. It's got their logo on there. I don't know if you can see that or not through the other camera. The actual gauge that they're using though is a little bit small. It's you can definitely tell it's quality. It's a nice heavy cable. I should also mention that the people at Sendt sent me these cables for free to review. So I didn't pay for these things. I got them for free. I don't know how much they cost. From what I can tell, those cables are pretty dang nice. So what do we got here? These ones are not braided. These are definitely plastic on the ends. What other tests can we do with these things? I suppose that we can go ahead and hook them up and play them, right? I mean, what's the point of like having instrument cables if you can't hook them up and play on them, right?
In order to determine how well these cables perform, I'm going to be setting up a series of different environments in order for me to test them out to see exactly how well they hold up. I'm not going to be holding back any punches on these things. I want to really see exactly what you can expect when you take these things out on the road, for example, because the last thing that you need is to be standing up in front of like tens of thousands of people and have your cables, you know, go south on you because they break or just don't hold up under some really extreme conditions. So with that said, let's go ahead and take the cables to our test laboratory and find out some data.
It works!
Okay, so next up we want to make sure that under extreme cold temperatures that the cables still perform okay. And I figure what better way to test out cold performance than to go ahead and take our cables up to our friendly neighbors up north, So this here is going to be our Canadian simulator. So let's go ahead and take those cables and throw them in the Canadian simulator. Oh, look at that, we have some friends in there too. We got a Canadian Mountie and a moose. Alright, so we'll let that sit in there for a few hours and we'll take them out and see how well they perform after being in this cold Canadian environment, Okay, so after being in our Canada simulator for a while, let's go ahead and take a look and see how these cables have held up.
Holy heck! What the hell happened to the Mountie? Oh my god, the moose ate it! Oh, the humanity! Well, despite what's happened, let's go ahead and proceed with the test. Let's go ahead and remove the cables from the freezer. Excuse me, the Canadian simulator. That poor Mountie, look at him. Got ripped in half. Ugh. Heck yeah, they still work!
Alright, so one of the things that I want to go ahead and test with these cables is to see how well they perform under a moist, cold, wet, damp environments. And there's no place better for that than in the Seattle area. And hey, what do you know? I live in the Seattle area. So we can just go ahead and take these cables and throw them right into the backyard and let them sit overnight. So that's exactly what we're going to do. Okay, so we went ahead and left the cables out for actually 3 days because it was just raining so much that, you know, so let's go ahead and pick those things up and try them out and see what we get. Oh, look at this. Yep, we're definitely in Seattle. Coffee cups and flannel shirts, so
All right, let's go ahead and grab these things and we'll take them inside and make sure that they still work. It still works. All right, so in this particular test, we want to go ahead and see how well these cables will perform, and I'm calling this one the driving test. And what we have here is the cables placed in the... Dave, what the hell is this test supposed to be doing? Okay, so I figured out what the heck went wrong with the test. The cables are not actually going to be driving the car. We're going to be driving the car over the cables. So that is exactly what the test is going to do. We're going to go ahead and see how much pressure these cables can stand up, because, you know, there could be conditions where you're going to your gig and you drop a cable, don't realize that you dropped it, and then you run right over it. How's it going to perform under those conditions? Well, let's find out. They still work. Okay, so far these cables have held up to just about everything that we've thrown at them, and I think that we've probably found a test where we're going to find a fault with these cables. This one is the Arizona test. And what is the Arizona test? Well, let's just go ahead and show you what the Arizona test is. Take the cable, put it down here. So, how do they stand up to the Arizona test? Unbelievable! They still work!
All right, so that kind of concludes the review for the cables. Obviously, there was some kind of witchcraft that was used in constructing these things, because you can't destroy them. We went through all kinds of different field tests. For one, we threw it in front of a bunch of cats, threw it into a freezer, you know, with the Canada test, threw it out in the inclement Seattle weather and left it out there for 3 days straight, ran over them with a freaking car. And last but not least, and something that I was absolutely shocked, I thought for sure, and that's the reason why I saved it for last, that setting them on fire with gas would have absolutely destroyed the cables. They stink like a gas station explosion, but functionally they still work just fine. These cables get the highest rating that I could possibly give them. If you actually take care of the cables, these things could last for virtually as long as you're alive. They're bulletproof, really. That's a good thing. Maybe I should have shot that though with a shotgun or something. Yeah, well, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and leave it as is. Great job on these cables, guys. You really knocked these things out of the park. They're just unbelievable. So yeah, Sendt cables. They hold up to some serious firepower. And that'll do it for me on this version of Adam's Reviews, and I will see all of you next time.